Hello, hello! Welcome back to my stream. It is I, your humble host Sketchy. We are back with Reverse 1999 in this new week. We are continuing the side content for Chapter 5 that we missed originally, but you know that already probably. If you don't, it's basically the backstories for the characters involved in the chapter, namely for 6 and 37. We are currently finishing up the story for 6. Right, let's get right into it. Because we started late today, unfortunately, so let's not waste all that much time, preferably. Next part it is. Where did we left off last time? 1 second, I have to remind myself. Right, he was arguing with 210 about his upcoming duties as Future 6. He wasn't nominated yet to that role. Right, now I remember vaguely. I see what lies behind the words. Knowledge flows from the minds of those who came before to the tips of their pens, then is inked across the pages, bound into books, and preserved for the future. This is much like the fate of 6, only that I inherit wisdom from others in a different way. When you gaze at it, it no longer has complete form. Wisdom is a name forcibly given. It is actually a collection of the complex thoughts of the human species. I drink merrily with mountain thieves, I voyage with heroes, I invite the wise to my side and debate with them. I read from the books as if I were peering into the thoughts of someone else's mind. Gradually holding these thoughts in my palm, I realize that, however complex the curves may be, they only have two ends. At the end is life, and at the other is death. Well, that's oversimplifying it, but sure. Because this is the fate of a man, we are like hemp on a spindle, a finite collection of despite all of our variations. The world is destined for strife, misfortune, and calamity. The good are not always rewarded for their virtues, nor are the wicked always punished for their sins. Okay, that's kind of a lot of vague posting. Where is he going with this? In the end, everything just happens as purposeless as the pebbles washed up on a beach, right? Is this all there is? That night was darker than usual. Even the shimmering sea was engulfed by the inky blackness. I felt the sand under my feet slipping away, and I, in my totality, started to float away with it. All color faded, and I was suspended in an empty black space. That day, Alma wanted to see me. I closed the nothingness of being, and left my room for the first time after a long retreat. It basically became a hikikomori, effectively. Making sure that everything is working stream side. I think everything is alright. Let me know if anything is displaying or sounding incorrectly. Okay. I return to the roofed home and climb up the slope, away from the sea's embrace. Alma grabs my hand. She is heard of my recent struggles and worries that I am falling into the void of knowledge. I guess every word before she speaks sticks as wisdom, the ancient maxims, the advice of the golden verses. I've heard them all endlessly. I don't blame her. This is the Six's duty, her destiny. One day it will be yours. I brush her hand away and return to my own battlefield. Even if knowledge leads to void, I need to use it to confront that unknown revelation. What problem do you have this time, my dude? Someone stops me. It's 210. I hear him speak with intense emotion about the revelation. The revelation is a curse, my friend. I shouldn't have answered, for this is not his fate. He always tries to meddle in matters far beyond his abilities, which only brings disaster upon himself and others. Cautious Daedalus and proud Icarus both fitted themselves with wings and attempted to fly over the sea. The former landed safely at the low altitude, while the latter flew too close to the sun, only to fall from the sky under its wax-melting heat. It's not hard to see that the one he more closely resembles, right? Someone enters my retreat. It's 37. She is always curious, always puzzling and questioning. Fortunately, she also always firmly believes she is right. Is it fortunately? I would say unfortunately in this case. Sorry, 37, I can't help you with this right now. In truth, I can answer her. My own questions earlier were as much as or more profound than hers. And perhaps I could offer many wise answers, but they might do her more harm than good. Interesting perspective. The sea nymph Thetis dipped her son Achilles in the river Styx, granting him immortality. To keep her baby from being swept away by the strong current, the mother held onto him by the heel. Her love made Achilles' heel his one fatal weakness. Right, so he's avoiding making 37 reliant on his wisdom, I suppose, in a sense. He wants her to find her own answers. It's not that hard to see where 67's own weaknesses lie. At the very least, I shouldn't reveal them prematurely. I close the door again and sit in silence. And who am I? To which fable do I belong? Good question. I don't have a good allegory on hand. Yes, I know that too. Oedipus went through his struggle and met his prophesied doom, thus the perfect tragedy came into being. Everything is crystal clear. Now I know it all. But what do I do next? Does he mean by saying that he knows it all? Did he find his answer finally? Right, and this is the last part of his story, apparently. Underneath the sea level. What will be his conclusion? Since the night my mother passed away, I haven't set foot in the cemetery where she is buried. It's truly unsettling when fate presents itself in such a tangible form. But then, on a whim, I decided to go there. It was like receiving a revelation. Really. Alma? She ought to be busy preparing for the voyage, but here she is, standing silently on the grass, like a living tombstone. When she sees me, she isn't surprised, as if she had already known what fate had planned.
Atticus.
Atticus, my child, your timing is perfect. Yeah, seeing them next to each other, they are really similar visually. Even the eyes are very similar. I know you've always harbored doubts, and our shared bloodline has only added to this divide. You've tried to counter the revelation with knowledge, but it only leads you further into confusion. You get lost in a maze of thoughts and fears, unable to find the red thread of escape. I've heard this before, Alma. She smiles, shaking her head, and pulls out a hardcover book. I think you're going to need this. What is it? Good afternoon, child. I heard her footsteps fade away after the trees, like a dewdrop sliding off a leaf. Lowering my head, I see the name of the book. The Voice from Above. It's a children's picture book, familiar to every child on this island. It has been endlessly discussed and even argued over. The story is vivid and clear in my mind without even seeing the pages.
A voice from the above spoke to a man.
Right, we've been told this tale like several times in this backstory. An important thing will happen to you. Thus, he spends his life waiting for a miracle. Until death arrives, and nothing has happened. And this is basically what he fears the most, isn't it? That he will wait for this predestined fate that will miss him somehow. When the man lay sick in bed, he cried up to the voice from above, asking, "When will all that you have promised finally arrive?" The voice from above said, "I gave you countless opportunities to work miracles, but you missed them all." And honestly, my dude, you are missing your chances as well. Through hesitation, inaction. Because you thought you knew your fate, you took no action. In the end, you achieved nothing. I used to despise this story because it dressed the will of the heavens as a kind of desirable benefit, and said nothing about the cruelty of fate. But stripping away all misunderstandings, its message is simple. Do not wait. You must take destiny into your own hands. It is something I've long known and acted by. Did you though? To me it looks like you are escaping from your fate more than acting upon the opportunities in front of you. What else is there in this book that I've missed, that I need? Before I realized it, I found I had walked to the beach, and it was already dark. And we are back here. One allegory. An old familiar friend, a difficult old rival. Hello, me. What are we fighting? Echo of Inquiry. So he's fighting himself, essentially.
To what end is strife perpetrated?
Okay. From the moment I knew my fate, I did everything I could to prepare. But you still have doubts, still hesitate, and still have no idea what to do with your fate. Right.
The moment
like
of
this.
silence. The moment of utterance. The moment of silence. We walk in long nights. Benefit from reading. Until the torch is lit. We walk in long nights.
So, now we spam the ultimate.
Time for tongues to speak of truth. Time for ear
And then
the moment of
spam
silence.
the attacks. There we go.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored.
That one is gone.
Learn from silence. Benefit from reading.
I know it already. But that knowledge leaves you empty. I no longer need this picture book. But this is the wisdom of 6. I am not the passive waiter in the fable. But perhaps you never understood the fable. Yeah, I'm thinking that he is kind of misunderstanding in a sense. Huh. So the fight basically restarted itself? Interesting. Okay, let's continue then.
Time for ears to listen. Time for tongues to the moment of silence. Until the torch is lit. The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored.
This should end it, right? I never understood the fable,
Therefore,
but it's so clear, so straightforward. I know every part of its meaning. It's the simplest of fairy tales. Or maybe you missed the point completely. It's in the simplest of readings that the deepest wisdom lies.
I beg your pardon?
Have you forgotten, child?
Benefit from reading.
And he's regenerating over and over.
Until the torch is
What
lit.
am I missing? What should I do with this fight? Do I just have to keep winning over and over? Advocate of knowledge. Doesn't do anything special. Hey, let's just continue then.
Time for
Above
ears, the
and
moment
two
of the
strikes.
moment of utterance. Until the torch is lit. Benefit from reading. Benefit from reading.
You already know it. You understand every word's meaning and grasp the most crucial ideas. You've read the wisdom of the ancients and foreseen the fate of the people around you. You've even seen your own. Just like the protagonist of that fable. He also once claimed he knew his fate and thus ceased to act. But in the end, he couldn't have been more wrong. Right.
Victory secured. I should excuse myself.
In the end, he cannot do nothing. He has to proactively start doing something besides just preparing. In a sense, he's no different from the figure in the fable itself. And these preparations end up with no productive outcome in the end. That night, the wind was gentle. I stand on the beach, watching the night turn to dawn, the rays of golden lights rising over the sea. Waves crash forward, halting at my toes. I think of Alma, of those brief, not so lonely days that followed. The metal on my forehead is cool to the touch, a gift from Sophia and 37, and apparently with some contribution for 210. Sophia, well, she stands on the shore, hesitant, perhaps looking for wood to make a small boat to follow in their wake. They appear as graceful as gentle curving lines. I understand it now, I see it. People's destinies spread out like the long trails on the beach. But that's all. I don't understand their feelings, their situations, or the circumstances under which they made their choices. I only know, but I don't understand it. Just like my own fate. Suddenly I feel the humidity of the ocean heavy on my eyes. My vision blurs, excuse me, and the sea's horizon grows distant. It sparkles gently under the rays of the sun. Ah. A peak of grey-blue waves, lifting up white foam, stirs the deep blue beneath. The tides and currents of the sea are constant. I stumble, my toes stepping into the waves. The icy cold washes away all knowledge and the words associated with it. Yes, this is what I'm missing. Knowing is not understanding, seeing is not experiencing. Nothing I thought I knew was more real than the cold water lapping at my toes. Until that revelation truly arrives, I can never claim to have understood fate. I close the picture book in my hands, feeling its gritty cover and solid texture.
I see.
Then, I don't need any other books. I'm not entirely sure what kind of conclusion did he arrive at, honestly. The days that follow are calm. The believers seeking truth and knowledge sail out to explore the world of constantly changing phenomena. But the ship's return is far later than expected.
No.
No, impossible. They are already well past the maximum deviation possible. They must return today. As long as they are alive and on the ship, there is no way they cannot be headed back. They wait day and night by the coast, eagerly anticipating the return of the leader and the ship. Soon they grow increasingly panicked.
Hey!
Hey, look, it's the ship. That's the ship, right. Until one person shouts excitedly, jumping high with the joyful news.
Excellent!
I knew it. I knew they were right.
Great!
I'm so glad. The ship returns from its voyage along with its planned route, with no deviation in the angle or speed. People run to the coast, waiting to welcome new insights from the outside world, believing the unprecedented ideas will illuminate the path of truth. That! Amongst them is Atticus's dear friend. Right. And this is the arrival of the unforeseen storm, isn't it? The emanation descends upon them. Everyone is calling out, everyone is in an uproar. They scream, cry, and fall to the sandy ground. The ominous noise even reaches the roofed room. Ignoring his trembling fingers, Atticus takes the book and opens it on the table. Regardless of the worst outcome, this is what he had planned to do.
A voice from the above spoke to a man.
Okay, you are repeating the story yet again. Why?
An important thing will happen to you. What will it be? The man asked. You will gain wealth. You will gain fame. You will walk in the garden of wisdom and happiness. The voice answered.
The reading voice stops, his fingers lingering on the page. At the same time, a geometric shape washes ashore. It's a beautiful tetrahedron. brilliant with golden hue like Alma's shining blonde hair when she was in good health. Ah, okay. The revelation has knocked on his door. Countless ancient knowledge is conveyed through the imprint of the soul number 6. Moral, historical, empirical, abstract, mathematical, humanistic. This is the crystallization of wisdom passed down from generation to generation by the island's leaders. A glimpse of the mysteries transmitted through the bloodline by those who perceive the truth. Revelation, knowledge, wisdom. They searched so tumultuously and vastly that the entire lifetimes of achievements and thoughts from mortals are like bottles of water compared to the mighty ocean. The boulders of fate has rolled down from its peak. The boulder of fate has rolled down from its peak, and a new 6 is born. So he's experiencing the said revelation in real time as we speak? Or is he? The reef remains unchanged. It has been hardened by the erosive force during the long night. Interesting, so he's already perceiving himself as a 6. He already knows, effectively. The paused hand gently falls and turns the page. Revelation.
It is just as simple as it is.
So whatever insight he gained from this was self-evident in his perspective? And that's the entire backstory for 6. Interesting. I wonder for how long was he a leader already when we arrived at the island? How many years was it for him? Not many, I'm guessing, because from what I recall, he was in his early 20s, or not even that. And during the events here, he was like a late teen, I think. So what, maybe he was a leader for 4 years, 3 years, something like that? We don't have solid dates on it, but that's what it seems like to me. He's very young, in general, when we meet him. Freshly minted leader, effectively. So, that was the backstory for 6. Now we can start the backstory for 37. Okay. Get to it. Hmm.
37. 37. Look!
Look at that, at the trail I made in the water.
Certainly.
Yes, I was counting. The end result was number 4. 37 walked over to Sophia, raising 4 fingers seriously. That means what you did was spot on. Was spot on. 4 signifies justice and strength. Wonderful. Let me try that again. I'll try to make more skips this time.
1, 2, 3.
Excitedly, Sophia picked up a few more smooth pebbles, only to receive a puzzled look from her companion. You got the right answer already. Why throw more? What do you mean, right answer? The question made Sophia pause, and she matched her puzzled face. But 37 seemed to be more confused. Bigger numbers aren't always better. If you are testing your throwing technique, 4 is the best possible number. Best in what way?
Yeah.
What do you want to test your passion and coordination? 5 will be better for that. No, I'm not trying to test any number. It's a game. The red-haired girl felt caught in the awkwardness of the moment. She hadn't been on the island for very long, and the seriousness with which they took arithmetic still left her feeling alien. Thankfully, she had a companion who was well versed in these matters.
Oh.
A game. Oh, a game. Like Kotaboos? Where you fling a wine dregs from the 200 cups at the dinner parties? I guess so. I mean, it almost sounds like skipping stones. She had agreed without really understanding the specifics, but not wanting the conversation to stall or to disappoint her new friend.
Oh. Fine.
All right. I don't get the point of all this. Huh? 57's brow furrowed as if let down by her companion.
So...
Throwing wine or pebbles, hitting a target, sinking a plate, or skipping stones on water.
does all this have any symbolic meaning?
What's the point of these actions? What are we trying to achieve? Have you heard of that thing called fun? I had it once. If it's about being the highest ranked, I get it. Like the 210, he's always trying to get the top score in Kataboos. So is 6. He's always chasing the end of each series. But sometimes it seems people do things without any purpose at all. Well, they are just playing. That's what most games are about. Spending time with friends and having fun. Having fun time. Without any greater purpose, I guess. Fun? What is this alien term you speak of? You mean these things don't have any transcendent purpose? Nope. They don't climb up the hierarchy, seek knowledge and purify their souls or seek out the truth? So all they are doing is idling in the sensory world. The young girl's tone grew much more distant, even cynical, surprising Sophia. No, I think, well, it's not entirely like that. Sorry, 37, I'm new here, and there's a lot that I don't understand. If I'm wrong... The blue-haired girl was resting her chin in her hands. She had already drifted away in thought.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying? That's rude.
That's alright.
Never mind these trivial matters. We have more important things to do. Such as? Mother asked me to familiarize you with the island. So is 4 the number you wanted to validate on the beach? Just wanted to have a fun time with her new friend, but I guess that flew over your head, smarty pants. Sophia tried to finish her apology, but 37 dismissed it with a wave. She was already caught in another train of thought. This kind of thing would happen several times until she got used to it. But back then, her still fledgling heart was unpolished by the sea breeze and sand, and she was full of questions.
37.
57, I still don't quite understand this apparent belief in numbers.
I just think...
Before coming here, I dealt with numbers in my studies, but it was just arithmetic. When I solved problems, my dad would reward me with candy, and I'd save them in a jar to buy flowers for my mom before going to the hospital.
Hmm?
Sophia realizes she was saying too much. It wasn't the right context, nor did it concern her new friend.
But...
Anyway, my impression of numbers is all caught up in those textbook exercises, far removed from these abstract, transcendent meanings.
Hmm?
Like, I don't understand. Why would you believe that numbers are eternal?
Hmm?
Because they are eternal. That's not a good answer, my girl. Just because is not an answer or just justification. With the seventh answer, a declaration was yet more puzzling, making Sophia regret asking it at all, and risking offense. No, ask the questions, they are important. Thankfully, prime numbers like 37 are nimble-minded, and at least that is what she would say.
But...
I don't know how to explain it with words, but I have the perfect example. It was Euclid who once proved that there are an infinite number of prime numbers.
Hmm?
Prime numbers, like how 37 is a prime number?
Certainly.
Yes, 13 is a prime, 23 is prime, 57 is prime, and 303 and 357 is also prime. The factors are only one and themselves. They cannot be divided by any other natural number. Prime numbers can go on infinitely, but how can we prove this? 57 enthusiastically wrote a series of numbers in the sand, finishing with a circle at the end. Euclid's method is to imagine the existence of the largest prime number. This is... It's not a zero then. What is this symbol? Not an O, not a zero. Does it have a name? So we make a complete series of prime numbers, starting from the smallest two, all the way to the largest. Based on this understanding, let's imagine there's a larger number. Right, it's a triangle this time. So I guess it's unknown, simply put. This represents the multiplication of all prime numbers in this Q plus 1. Huh, okay. Clearly, it cannot be divided by any of the listed prime numbers. The number 2, 3, 5, or any number represented by this symbol will result in a remainder of 1. If triangle is not a prime number, it will be divisible by a prime number larger than O. If triangle is a prime number, then naturally it's larger than this circle. Both scenarios contradict the assumption that circle is the largest prime number. Therefore, the conclusion is there's no such thing as the largest prime number. Prime numbers are infinite. 37 finished writing, clapped her hands, shook off the sand, and stood up beaming.
But...
I heard about this theorem at school, but I still don't understand what it means, really. It basically means that the formula itself is a proof that you cannot finish it. That it's universally expandable. She couldn't grasp the transcendental meaning behind such specific mathematical theorems. To her, they were strict correct, but nothing more than chalk particles on a blackboard. monochromatic, sharply defined, and barely soluble in water. And that was all. Mother told me that Euclid wrote this proof over 2000 years ago. She said the person who wrote this proof will die. The paper that recorded this proof will decompose, and we, who read this proof, will also one day disappear. Everything will be washed away like the sand on the seashore.
Certainly.
But this proof will endure, always correct, beautiful, and intricate, to be admired by the future generation. I suppose that's eternal. Everyone on the island tells me I'm special. Prime numbers are like the foundation stones of arithmetic. All integers are derived from prime numbers. But I'm one set of the infinite prime numbers. There will always be more, newer numbers, so I'm not truly special. But even if I'm just 57 grains of sand on the beach, I'm still encompassed within this infinite queue. And there are an infinite number of such sequences. Sequences of integers, sequences of fractions, sequences of irrational numbers. Each and every one infinite. Right. 27 turned around, and now her eyes sparkled with the grains of sand in the sunlight. We are all part of infinity, and I take pride in that. I think, Sophia, that is what eternity is. Under bright sunlight, the grains of sand of the beach gleamed like gold. As she locked eyes with 57, it was blinding yet poignant. Don't close your eyes. As the scripture says, do not shy away from anything beautiful.
Ah.
As time passed, I often remembered the theorem 57 told me. I never quite understood her word, this fascinating abstract kingdom of mathematics where every number is her friend. But in that moment, I caught a fleeting glimpse of that beautiful brilliance of eternity in her eyes. It was enchanting, inspiring, and admirable. It became the seed that led me to embrace the school. The beach changed in the days that followed. The ship approached the shore, the emanation unfolded before our eyes, and cheers turned into sorrowful cries. So this is happening after the emanation that took the ship's crew, I'm guessing. Eventually, all that remained of what we lost were cold, lifeless geometric shapes. Yet through it all, 57 stood unwavering. She poured incredible focus into her mother's research, never displaying any sadness or hesitation. Just like the theorem she spoke of that day on the beach, unchanging, resolute, immune to the passage of time. How could 37 stay so uniquely unaffected by the world around her? Honestly, my best answer to this is autism. Honestly. It's not me trying to be offensive. It's just that 57 is kind of locked in her own little world. She doesn't process the world the same way that others do. I couldn't find an answer to that question. All I could do was offer my help, meager as it was. Right. That's another part done. So, now part 2. But before we proceed, I'll take a short bathroom break, so be right back. And I'm back. Okay. So next part it is.
Hmm? Hmm.
The lab's light bulb needs changing. May need more paper for calculations. So this is closer to the present times. Probably before Vertin arrived. 27 mentioned last time that we need.
Hey!
Oh, hey, Sophia. You look like you're in a rush. Something urgent? Not exactly. I'm just heading to the lab to check on 37's progress. 37. It's been a while since she made an appearance on the beach. Right, because after her mother died in that emanation, she locked herself with her research for an extended period of time. Don't remember how long it was, but it was like a year or something close to that, maybe even more. It was mentioned during the story. Perhaps she's still digging into those remaining records. No one else can handle them. Every time the emanation came up in conversations, the atmosphere seemed to darken in response. Right, because they were convinced that they figured it out, that they were immune to it, because they could predict it perfectly. And that one storm proved them wrong. It was as if navigating around the edges of a storm. Don't worry, 37. Don't worry, 37 will figure it out. And hey, take care of yourselves, both of you. We don't need you to wear yourselves out.
I understand.
Thank you both so much. Sophia extends her hand in a gesture of goodwill. After sharing those brief pleasantries, it was time to continue on their way. Laboratory on the island. Scattered scribble notes, piles of thick books, and stray strands of critter hair. It looked as if a flock of Abraxas has visited, or the lab had been caught in a whirlwind for centuries on end. Anyone would have been exhausted by such a sight, and amidst the panoply of the lab director herself lay sprawled across a table, lost in her own head. What is this tame panoply? I never heard it before. Google time? Oh, it's like a decorative insignia or a symbol, something like that. Interesting. Never heard it called that. 37. Have you considered tidying up this room? She moved nimbly, stepping over scattered books as she approached the long table. The notebook which lay beside 37 looked oddly familiar.
This is...
Is this... Someone had treasured this notebook, adorning it with illustrations and notes. Flipping through its pages, Sophia found meticulous data validation records, accompanied by engineering sketches. After a few more pages, the content started relating to things on the island, interspersed with sheet music and simple sketches documenting seagulls flying by and the silhouette of a little girl playing. Finally, her fingers halted on a page with grids and a few math problems written on it. Is this like the notebook that belonged to 37's mother, or what? From the contents of it, I would guess so.
Sophia!
Oh, Sophia, you're here! 37 rubbed her eyes and quickly shifted her attention to the notebook Sophia was holding. Oh, I found this little notebook while looking through one of these piles. There's an absolute plethora of notes inside. I wanted to see if there were any records relating to the emanation. 37 straightens up, carefully inspecting the page Sophia was reading. Huh. Is this chess? I think it is. I remember this page. I was so young then, standing on my tiptoes to reach my father's desk. I told him how my friends seemed uninterested in games, and that I was struggling with math. Oh, right. The conversation on the beach in the previous part. He brought a stool so I could see the words as he wrote in his notebook.
It's just...
Sorry, this
Never
isn't
mind.
really important. She closed the notebook and turned to 37. These are riddles for kids, far too simple for you. Don't waste your time on them. Everyone's waiting for the next phase of your research. I'll take this notebook with me.
No.
No, Sophia, these aren't just for kids. I just found out that the answers from the answers from an interesting sequence. Oh, that looks mistranslated. Ah, I just found out that the answers form an interesting sequence. I misread that.
Mm-hmm.
They might relate to the celestial rhythms. That's Hughes' area of study, right? Look, this number seems to follow an octave pattern with the next one. And these symbols are unique too.
I think.
They are all related to number 3. It must be a trick using a combination of triangles. I've tried several solutions. She listed one intriguing discovery after another. With the 7 pontificated, glowing with increasing focus and enthusiasm. It was reminiscent of her past lessons on the beach and countless nights researching the emanation. Armed with that intense curiosity, she sought answers in everything. Unwavering, unchanging.
Well.
Fine. If that's the case, then I'll help you find the answers, 57. But let's be quick. Afterwards, you'll refocus on your main research, right?
Sure.
Of course. It shouldn't take long. I'm almost certain. First, we should find a spacious spot, something close to the one described in the notebook. The notebook rustled in 37's hands. Her fingers skimmed the pages, capturing the fleeting sparks of inspiration as she sped towards the lab's exit. I hope this won't take too long. You've acquired a side quest. You will enjoy it. This is play. Should I really let her waste time like this? Do not interfere. This is her way of playing, honestly. Solving crap is basically her equivalent of playing games. So more drops. Okay. Part 3 this. Beach walking. Strolling along the familiar path on the beach, everything looked as it did before. The sand was sand, rock only rocks. Earthly elements far divorced from anything transcendental. But it was unwritten doctrine of the school. A walk by the sea helped one contemplate the truth. Oh, I missed that flock of seagulls.
Be careful!
Careful, 37, next to you. The startled birds flapped and cawed, shaking off in a flurry of sand and feathers. 37 brushed away the debris and landed on her paper. Continuing on without fuss. Sophia caught up with her, hurrying from behind, at last breaking her focus. Right. Something wrong, Sophia? Oh, nothing. Any new discoveries? Not yet, but I've thoroughly dispelled the dark clouds from my mind. The sea breeze may not aid in finding the truth, but it's invigorating. It is in its own way. But as if to challenge her claim, a yawn escaped her, right. So sleepy.
Yay!
Look, it's 37. What about her? Have you discovered anything interesting lately? Care to tell us about it?
Or like this?
Perhaps we should start calling 37 the Star of Hermes like 210 does. Please don't. That guy is an asshole. I mean, it sounds like an honor, doesn't it? Anyway, good afternoon, 37. They passed a group of children who overtook them with curiosity and warm greetings. Everyone had known of 37's curious methods for her research, and so few were surprised to see her strolling along the beach with the notebook in hand. Afternoon, playing hopscotch? Better move a bit further, or the waves will mess up your lines.
Let me think.
Waves. Each drop in the waves moves in a circular motion. When the crest of a wave exceeds 120 degrees, they crash with a whoosh. Are you analyzing how the waves walk? Really? But the answer sequence seems unrelated with these waves. What could it be then? She briefly dove back into her thoughts, but as the leader approached, she snapped out almost as quickly. Right. Oh, it's 6. 266, 267. Oh. The leader sidestepped them around. Okay, this is a mistranslation. They used them 2 times instead of once, right? The leader sidestepped them around silently, as if trying to make a quick escape. Such efforts rarely turned out as expected for him. 6, you're here too. What methods are you examining with your walk? Are you counting your steps along on the beach?
I think.
Perhaps you are talking 6,066 steps because you are 6? Oh, but that number isn't optimal. Let me suggest. 6 deftly avoided 37's quizzical advice and changed the subject. Right.
Why aren't you in your laboratory?
Because she wanted to take a walk, presumably? I discovered some puzzles Hugh left behind, so I opted to decode them with Sophia. She happily waved the decorated notebook in her hand towards 6.
Actually,
These puzzles are mostly children's games. I can assure you 37 won't waste too much time on them.
sure.
They're indeed rudimentary. Oh, I figured out the clue I overlooked. Thank you, Sophia. I have it now.
Essentially.
They are games, so you must play through them to understand Hugh's intentions. And it just so happens that there are already 3 of us, you, me, and 6. Imperceptibly, 6's hair stood on end, like a fight or flight response, right? My dude, run while you can. You're about to be recruited for the playthrough of those games, I'm guessing. Sorry, there are other matters that call to my attention. We used to play together often, didn't we?
I think.
The present is no different from the past. Time is merely a procession of knots on an infinite rope. Doesn't matter where you start counting.
No.
Thank you for your invitation, but... As 6 spoke, he took a step back. Run, my dude. The language was clear, implying that the conversation should end there. Unfortunately, the social cues were lost on 37. Yep, it's autism.
Fine.
Excellent. I'd like to use this speech to gather anyone interested in the game. He's clearly not interested, my girl. I assure you, it will be done before dinner. But we simply cannot ignore this pressing issue. What pressing issue? Very well. 6 turned to Sophia, nodding an almost imperceptible plea to her.
In addition,
Please evaluate the feasibility of 37's proposal.
I shall leave this with you.
But I'm afraid I must take my leave. He took a step forward, pausing for a moment. I'll start from 268. Start what?
Thank you.
Finally, he resumed his interrupted walk, narrowly escaping 57's notice as she returned to her thoughts.
Oh.
You know, 6 is the best riddle solver among us.
Oh.
He used to say the most interesting things, but now he's become a note by a walking scroll. So he became boring after he donned the mantle of 6, is what you're saying?
Actually,
6 has become the leader of the school, and our leader need to be even-handed, objective, forthright, flawless. 6 has so many obligations. We all have our own tasks that we need doing. Well then, my task is to understand the true meaning behind these exercises. She raised the collection of children's games high. For the island's chief researcher, it wasn't the most fitting action. 37.
perhaps.
Maybe these exercises don't have any meaning at all. Huh? 37 blinked as if Sophia's words had no imprint of meaning at all.
I think.
They're just children's games, and you already know the answer to each one of them.
Perhaps.
I know that you think the sequence of answers has some significance, but maybe they are just random numbers. All things considered, we still have... The conversation could have carried on about people's expectations, duties and obligations, but the sea breeze suddenly drowned out her voice. 37 didn't hear her, or perhaps she didn't care to.
Huh?
It's those kids, look! Which kids? 37 looked into the distance, completely engrossed in the next moment. Come on, Sophia, hurry up. I'll help you ask. Hold on, don't go so fast. Her words were lost in the swaying of 37's robe as she dashed ahead. She was always one to act on her thoughts immediately, seizing on every idea and squandering her inspiration. Yet she could reach heights others only dreamed of. Not long ago, she rushed out of the canteen in the middle of dinner, bewildering everyone present. But a day later, she submitted her initial speculation on the distribution of the emanation, which was just as soon verified. Right. Flash of inspiration while eating happens sometimes. When asked about it, 37's response was understated. Oh, I simply noticed a striking resemblance between the pattern of the emanation and how my sesame seeds were arranged. Huh? You what?
Perhaps so.
It was her strange genius. She bent down to pick up a pebble buried in the sand and tossed it as far as she could. As the stone skimmed over the water's surface, it created several ripples, conjuring a stream of memories. Right, and this is crying Sophia. Faint sobs collided against the smooth geometric surfaces, leaving faint and hollow echoes. But a hurried set of footsteps obscured any other sounds.
Certainly.
So here you are. I have something for you. Something you'll be interested in. I don't know about that. I think this is happening just after her mother died in that emanation. With 700 over a glass bottle. The rolled up paper inside looked jagged, as if it had once been a corner of a worksheet.
Hmm?
You wanted to know your cell number, right? I saw it, so I wrote it down here. Her tone was as proud as ever. Okay, we've heard about this happening. It was a prime number, one that carried a meaning of hard and piercing brilliance. It was a memory that was willfully forgotten. In the last moments of her memory, the glass bottle traced an arc through the air, landing in the sea. Right, because she rejected the answer and just threw it in the water. As the ripples dispersed, calm returned.
Sophia!
Her friend's call brought her back to reality.
Brilliant!
There you are! More people are interested in this game than I thought. In no time, 37 returned with the participants she had found. Shining with confidence, she seemed ready to start immediately.
Uh-huh.
All the necessary conditions are met now. We need to proceed in order with the game. Let's start with the first question.
Mm-hmm.
Will you help by observing us, Sophia? Of course. I'll validate your calculations and check for any errors. The red-haired corrector nodded. Of course, not every question needed an answer. No, they all had their own tasks. Okay. So far, this is all just faffing around with Sophia and 37. Not sure what this side story is even focused on, at least not yet, besides just focusing on 37 living through her ordinary days before this disaster struck the island. 37 will summon the participants to the game, follow the prompts to converse with the participants in the scene, confirming their respective selected shapes.
Hello there.
So, let's start by choosing our shapes. Starting from the left side, we'll choose one by one. She lifts her notebook high, showing it to the crowd around her, waiting for instructions.
Please wait.
Choosing from these 7 geometric shapes, I think I'll choose in order. The monad, from which all things originate. I choose this symbol to show respect to Epigon.
It's like this.
Oh, you're right. I love the unity and universality of it.
The question is...
I choose this line segment, made of 2 points joined together. It represents both fusion and division, with endless possibilities.
That's great!
No problem. That's an interesting point you bring up as well.
I think...
We need one more shape. 1, 2, 3. I'll take this one.
a perfect number.
There's a nice golden ratio hidden in the star shape. So it's a good choice.
Mhm.
Good. Now we can start inferring. After confirming the selected shapes, the game can officially start. Follow the prompts on the left to gradually form the argument. Okay. Inform the participants of the game's topic.
Let me think.
The first question in the notebook is, there is a well 8 meters deep. A small snail starts climbing from the bottom. It climbs 3 meters during the day and drops 2 meters at night. How many days will it take for the snail to climb out of the well? So it's making 1 meter of progress every day. Then it will take like 8 days? Question mark? Or am I misinterpreting it?
Uh-huh.
That's the question. Did everyone hear it clearly? I can read it again. Everyone shakes their head in unison.
It's like this.
The game is simple. We just need to line up in the correct order to represent the steps that solve the question. After ascertaining the topic, corresponding deduction steps will be allocated to the participants.
For instance...
The monad represents climbing up 3 meters.
Yes.
Got it. The allocated deduction steps will be recorded in available shapes. Climb 3 meters, right. These are the allocated deduction steps. Please continue allocating all of the remaining steps. Okay.
Here you go.
The line segment represents dropping down 2 meters.
Yes.
I remember that. E.T. please. She invaded my space once again. The silly creature. She wants attention. Once again. Okay. Drop 2 meters.
And then...
Finally, the pentagram represents adding 1 day.
a perfect number.
I think everything is set now. Okay, start deduction. You've successfully allocated all of the deduction steps required for this topic. Please try starting your argument. Right. So climb 3 meters. Currently 5 meters from the well. It is day 1, right. When there's an error in your argument, the corrector will fulfill her responsibilities. If you don't know what to do, you can also borrow the Star of Hermes' Eureka to shed some light on how to solve the puzzle. Right.
For instance...
The key to this is the chronology. The snail always climbs upwards during the day and drops downwards at night. Right. So. Easy enough. You silly creature, do you have to? Okay. So it takes 6 days then. Interesting. Right, because the last step is completed early because you have no time to drop the 2 meters. That makes sense. I guess I didn't think of it that way. All right. Here's the reward for it. And another part. How's it going? You followed all the steps in order, right?
Yes.
Yes, I've numbered them and made notes.
That's great.
Wonderful. That will be the most valuable resource. Now on the second question. The woman in plain robes continued with the game, methodically going through its motions. It was nothing more than a simple game for kids. To the corrector, it all seemed amusing. Here they were brilliant minds, meticulously recreating child's play on the beach, instead of tackling the great question of their age. Do you really think this game holds any significance? As soon as Sophia asked this, the woman recording the answer turned and gave her a smile. What?
No.
No, not really.
No.
57 believes that that by completing this game, she'll understand some hidden meaning in the sequence found by the answers.
Actually,
But my father was pragmatic and always focused on the present, like me. He didn't have an eye for these sorts of abstract things.
I think...
I doubt this notebook could contain any of the transcendental meanings 37 is seeking. So it's a notebook of her father then. Okay, I misinterpreted that. Duly noted. Honestly, at first glance, you can easily see the results. The answer to each question spawns a 10-digit number. 6334634533. I can't see its value, but 37 must be doing this for a reason. At least she thinks she's doing this for a reason. After all, she's always the first to grasp the essence beyond our understanding. The essence. She had never associated her father's notebook with the notion of some transcendental essence. What essence could a set of children's exercises in an old book possibly hold?
I don't know.
If this... You know what? Give me 1 second, I've got to pacify my silly cat. Give me a moment. Keep this. Off you go. Down. There we go. He was all over my desk. This is just a waste of time. Could erode everyone's trust. Then The corrector furrowed her brow with worry. She felt as if she had to rectify this mistake. Excuse me. Hiccups. Sophia, what's on your mind? Her friend's sudden appearance caught her off guard, forcing her to take a step back.
It's just...
Oh, nothing.
Never mind.
She forced an adjustment of her demeanor, hiding any sight of her flustered thoughts. It was just... I was just thinking, 37. Are these games perhaps too simple for the others? Are they? 37 tilted her head.
I think...
But there is nothing simple about any set of numbers, nor any set of answers.
Essentially...
Indeed, the simplest numbers often hold the deepest meanings. Often a number as singular as 1 holds the origin of all mathematical thought.
It's like this.
I believe the problems in this notebook are no different.
I understand.
Of course, you're always right, 57. Is she though? Or is just everyone claiming that to be true? And my cat is back. And she's haunting me. Once again. You silly little creature. I'm busy. You could have graced me with your presence any time before that stream or after it. But of course, you are only interested when I'm streaming.
Perhaps...
But perhaps, instead of these simple games, we could... work on more important things? 57 finished her sentence, catching the red-headed corrector off guard once again. 57's eyes followed her as she took a step back. God damn it, Kitty. What are you doing, you silly creature? Do you have to? Do you really have to? One second, I've gotta take her out of the room. Otherwise, she won't leave me alone. The cat has been pacified and exorcised out of the room. 37's eyes followed followed her as she took a step forward and fired off a series of questions of her own. Sophia, you keep repeating yourself.
Mhm.
So then, what's the most important to you? Huh? There could be many answers. The research on the emanation, the school's public affairs, or perhaps even just the fate of this small island. But... No, go away, 37. Right, this is back at the beach after that emanation. I know you're right. You're always right, but I don't want to know. Oh, that's after she threw away the answer. I don't want to know my number anymore. The glass bottle shattered the water's surface. The splash rang heavy and bitter. I'm sorry. They both knew the ancient instruction, know thyself. But the most important answer had already been swept away by the waves, lost in the endless depths of the sea. Well, if 27 wanted, she could have just told her what number it was.
I think...
Sorry, 37. I don't know what that I can answer you right now. It's such a profound question, and I don't have an easy answer.
Perhaps...
I suppose I need time to think about it properly. I need to check our inventory. I hope your research goes well, 37. She spoke the words quickly, feigning calm. But it wasn't so easy to turn and leave. 37 held Sophia's hand firmly. Someone once taught me a problem-solving technique. When you're at a loss, try changing your mood. It's a useful trick, one which I've tested many times.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have anything more important to do now, why not play the game with us? You still haven't participated in Hugh's game yet. Right, I don't think she wants to. It was always so impossible to let go of that hand. Alright,
Well...
but remember, you promised to finish before dinner.
Sure.
Of course. Anyway, Six is still walking around the island. We have time before he reaches 4 digits. Come on, Sophia. Let's tackle the next question. Alright, that's another part done, I think. Isn't it? Okay, next puzzle it is.
What's the next question?
The second question is, a furball with a pretty geometric patterns on its head finds 12 grapes and intends to carry them back to a cave 6 meters away. It can carry up to 6 grapes at a time, but it eats 3 grapes every 3 meters that it advances. How many grapes it can bring back? Wait. None? The answer is none, isn't it? 3 grapes every 3 meters and it's 6 meters away, right? 57 reads the question word for word, then turned expectantly to Sophia. Yeah, if it's 6 meters away, it can grab 6 grapes and eats 3 every 3 meters. Yeah, then the answer is cannot carry any grapes to their destination. Okay.
Sophia!
You did promise to come play just now, didn't you? Of course.
Well,
I wasn't just saying it. The corrector reluctantly confirms with 37 again. She will stay and participate.
it's like this.
Then take a look at my notebook and pick whichever shape you like.
Perhaps.
I'll think it over. Do you have any suggestions?
Let me think.
If I were to make a suggestion, I would say that this rectangle is a good fit.
This is...
Is it because of the meaning of 4? Justice and order? That's indeed suitable for a corrector. Thank you, 37. I think this is the one.
The scripture says...
I remember you did approve about it. Not that it left much of an impression, but I believe there was such a thing.
And then...
However, in this question, the rectangle represents returning to the pile of grapes.
I understand.
Got it.
Mhm.
That said, 210 sometimes drops grapes while walking, but I never seen those furballs following him.
Essentially...
The description of the question isn't rigorous enough.
Perhaps...
Maybe it's because he always talks so loudly, so the critters don't dare to come near. Okay.
Hey!
Let me see. This time the monad represents moving forward 3 meters. Or is it 6 meters?
No, that's not right.
It's carrying as many grapes as possible. Well, it was just a wild guess. Okay.
Your number.
This time, the line segment represents advancing 3 meters. Got it.
Maybe.
Okay. There's still the step of putting down all the grapes, which belongs to the pentagram. Okay. Start. Carry as many. Advance 3 meters. Advance 3 meters. Drop the grapes. Huh? So. I have no grapes, right? Undo. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3 meters. Return. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3 meters. Right, this is just a... Wait. 1 second. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3 meters. Drop all the grapes. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3 meters. Undo, undo. Okay. Grapes path midway, right. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3 meters. I don't understand. Then. Grapes path midway, right. Grapes at the starting point, right. What do you mean you can bring more grapes? I should have 3 on me right now, right?
For instance,
If I'm carrying 6 grapes at a time, then I'll have to put them down somewhere to ensure I can do it all in 2 trips. The location I place them is crucial. Well, the midpoint. There is no other point that I can put them down, isn't it? Carry as many, right. Advance 3 meters. I have 3 on me. Drop all the grapes. Return to the grape pile. Carry as many. Advance 3 meters. Drop all the grapes. Ah, okay. And advance 3 meters. Ah, that works. I don't know why it didn't work previously. I thought that I did exactly the same thing. Or maybe I was wrong? Did some mistake somewhere? Okay. And that's another part done. Do we have time to do another one? I think so. Okay, let's go through another one.
what do you need?
So, did you get the results you wanted, 37?
Hmm,
Maybe after a few more questions, I'll discover the common pattern.
I think...
Alright, let's hurry. We still have time for one more question before dinner. So do I.
Oh,
Hurry up. Oh, you're right, Sophia. She flips through her notebook, seemingly with a new idea.
it's all right.
I'm glad you agree
They are
with this suggestion. Let's continue on as it's written.
No, no.
Oh no, we don't have to verify the same thing over and over. Initially, I just reduced the sequence by 3, and now we are and now there are 2 more duplicates here, 3 and 4.
Subtract 1.
All right,
then
let's
subtract
keep.
1.
All right, let's keep some redundant parts. I'm sure we'll clear up the rest soon enough.
Hello there.
Paul, who else wants to join the game? The eager little boy is the first to step into the field.
Like I said.
I've been thinking about this while watching everyone play. I want to choose the hexagon. Because it's perfect and it has number 6, just like our leader.
Yes, exactly.
But he hardly ever participates in such games. At this point, I prefer your approach. 57 nods in approval at the little boy's active participation.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Okay.
What's the next question?
This question is somewhat different from the previous ones. Based on the description, in what position is the hexagon?
For instance,
I'll show the notebook to each of you, and you just need to say the corresponding order. Okay. Can we deduce where the hexagon is from the left based on how the shapes are arranged? Ah.
No.
There are no shapes on my right, but there is a big crowd on the left.
The question is...
My position. Oh, I see it now. There's more than one shape on my right. I'm never good at puzzles like this. It's always difficult for me to visualize the situation.
This is...
Among the two shapes adjacent to me on both sides, there is no monad. I'm
It's
neither the
really good.
furthest nor the furthest right. I'm neither the furthest left nor the furthest right. So, the hexagon has to be somewhere in the middle. Now
Let
it's
me
my
think.
turn. Standing to my left is a line segment. Ha! Is last. Is... She is next to him, I think. Then it's 37. And the boy? No shapes on the right, right. No shapes on the right. There is more than one shape on the right. Neither of the two adjacent shapes is the monad. The line segment is adjacent to the left. Neither the far left nor the far right. No, this cannot be it. Neither of the two adjacent shapes is the monad, right? No shapes on the right, so it has to be the far right. This segment is adjacent to the left. Like this? Rectangle. Ah, right. It cannot be like this. I'm not getting it. No shapes on the right, right. So it has to stay here. There's more than one shape on the right. It can be wherever, honestly. Just not here.
For instance...
The line segment and the pentagram are always together, while the monad and rectangle are never adjacent. Yes, I know, but I don't see how I can achieve this. Because if I do it like this, then this is wrong, right? No shapes on the right. No, wait. This can be done like this. Huh? Neither of the two adjacent shapes is the monad. Well, it's not adjacent, right? So why is it wrong? Huh. Right. rectangle is in the wrong position. Why?
For instance,
I honestly don't get this puzzle. This has to remain here. And I can only move those two around. Wait, can I do it like this? Ah, okay. Apparently this is the correct answer. Never mind.
Sophia!
Like I said, I'm not the greatest at those puzzles. Sophia, was the game helpful at all? 37 rushed over as Sophia descended from the playground. Were the problems fun, inspiring, or perhaps dull? They're confusing. Should the result be locked or just discarded in a corner of the lab?
Actually,
Well, they weren't as dull as I expected. Breaking down the logic was pretty straightforward. For a kid just arriving on the island, it's a decent puzzle.
perhaps.
If I played this as a kid, I might have warmed up to math more. Perhaps I'd even have understood the whole everything is a number thing a little sooner. But in here and now, they don't feel very practical, nor enlightening. Oh, I see.
Let
No
me
luck,
think.
it seems. What could we be missing? With obvious disappointment, 37 flipped through the notebook once more, diving deep into her thoughts again. It was getting dark, and the others began leaving the beach. It seemed 37's games didn't yield any results. For her assistant, this seemed like the expected outcome. These games appeared to be more of a basic education tool than something profound. It's time for dinner. We've run out of time we've requested from 6. There is...
No.
No, wait. It's not over until I go for dinner. 37 stared at the grid lines on the beach as if she was rooted there. The puzzle represented by these numbers would be on her mind all night, replacing thoughts of roasted rabbit and honeyed bread. Although it was clear that this number sequence didn't hold any profound meaning, at first glance, what if everyone just hadn't looked deep enough? Sometimes apple is just an apple.
Perhaps.
I have some free time tomorrow morning. Maybe we can give it another shot then. When Apollo first rides out chasing the dawn, we might discover a fresh perspective.
Huh?
Do you think so? Think that she's just humoring you at this point, but sure. Otherwise, you'd stay here all night. Sophia sighed, once again realizing she was indulging 37. I don't understand, 37. Why are you so convinced there's some hidden significance in this sequence of answers? Huh? Because it's right there. What is right there? I feel it, if only vaguely. When Hugh jotted down these numbers, they contained such strong emotion. So you are going with your intuition? Intuition. At the mention of that word, the girl's expression dimmed. Back in her childhood, before she came to the island, when she was known as an arcanist, she was familiar with this term. Sensing, listening, understanding, beseeching, being fiercely focused. and seizing inspiration. It was all familiar to her. Right, operating on vibes, in other words. But she couldn't see the flash of genius whenever she pleased, playing around with them as if she was catching butterflies. What did having such an ability really mean?
Sophia!
Sophia, come on! If you don't get to the canteen now, only the soup base will be left. 57 had maneuvered nimbly over the line of seagull footprints and waved to beckon Sophia ahead. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming. And remember, not every question needs an answer. We have more important things to do now. Okay. It's another part done. So we did 4 parts at this point. And we are left with 4 more of them. So I'm guessing that will happen on Wednesday, because we are 2 hours in. So that will be it for Reverse 1999 for today. We'll be taking the scheduled 1 hour break now, after which I'll be returning with Cyberpunk 2077 for another 2 hour stream. It will happen somewhere around 7 PM of the GMT +1 time zone. So roughly an hour from now. And that will be it. Thank you for watching if you did. If you missed anything from the stream, I recommend going to my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description in my Twitch page. You can also type !YouTube in chat to get the link directly. And my schedule for this week is posted on my Discord server, which is also linked both in YouTube and in Twitch descriptions. And you can use the !Discord command to get the link directly. Again, thank you for watching and see you around in an hour. Ciao!